One of the things that we discussed during the special call with the CEO is with regards to the new and exciting products that we will be launching this 2024, this next year. And part of it is of course, the new look, the new package, the new rebranded, the very flawless anti-aging skincare system. I'm really excited about it. Do you love the new packaging of it?
I think it's excellent. No, like
Yeah.
I'll tell you, one of the things when you're selling a product for beauty and skincare, the aesthetics of the product itself is so important. So I think they've done an outstanding job in terms of the design of the product. The product itself is out. It's a really good product. I don't know how many times I've said that to people, but what we have in terms of the type of products, the new cleanser is it's really nice. It's got some great ingredients. It moisturizes, it cleanses at the same time. It's what you really want to see in terms of a cleanser, and it does marry well with the day product. I think the day product is great for protecting the skin. It's got the Piceabies extract in it, while it moisturizes at the same time. And the Quad AG for night is very important for our skin because what it's doing during that period of time is restoring our skin back to its normal processes. And so we have all the supportive material and ingredients in there to make it an effective product. So, with the Piceabies extract to mop up free radicals and the microsilver to eliminate some of the bacteria that can cause so many skin issues. As an anti-aging system, I think it works really well and very effective. So yeah, along with the packaging, I think everyone should be excited about what's coming up.
David, one thing I
Yes,
want to reiterate from our ingredient list before I get on the flight, when it comes to the cleanser, we originally started with a hydrating cream cleanser. And that has been doing extremely well. One of the most important elements of the cleanser is to remove impurities from the skin, at the same time hydrating the skin, which is really, really important. But one of the things that we've done now is we've added into a foaming cleanser, and with the foaming cleanser is really important because now we've added cucumber and rosemary and other extracts like aloe vera to be able to give it that not only hydrating but that foaming element that is going to give it some key ingredients that are truly going to make a difference while keeping the skin hydrated, which is originally what we wanted. We wanted an anti-aging product that was going to have all those elements and verticals incorporated into it. So we're extremely excited to be able to achieve that. I'm going to pass it over to you.
Yeah, I really think that the hydrating part is important. One thing that you have to realize is that there's a lot of companies that have products that dry out the skin, and they'll advertise it that way. It's their marketing is very good, but they'll say it makes your skin feel tight and dry. What they should be saying is they're making you look older. You don't want tight, dry skin at any time. You want skin that is going to be moist and supple. You want to remove the debris. It has to be foaming because the foam itself will remove some of the large particles, but you also want something that's going to keep your skin hydrated and prepare for the next step. If it is leaving your skin tight and dry, it is a problem. And that's what you see in a lot of advertising for different things, different products, even things like pillows and pillowcases. They'll tell you that it takes away any of the moisture. It soaks up moisture. What it's doing is dehydrating you. And that's why when you wake up in the morning with some of these products, like, you sleep funny and you got a pillowcase that mops up moisture, you got a crease across your face. You wake up and you rub it, put some cream on it, whatever, and there's that crease. And what that is dehydration right there. And so I think the products that we're talking about in terms of Fairy Flawless, the way I look at it is that you want something that is going to promote moisturization and cleanliness at the same time. So I'm really quite enthused about the new cleanser. I think I like the old cleanser, but I think this is a step forward. and they've got some has some very nice ingredients in that to make a difference. And then the two supporting products with the day and the night product is outstanding. And for those people who are wondering about our lip and eye products, that's going to be supported with a new collagen product. So again, we'll be able to moisturize. You know, it's interesting. Someone was telling me, you know, I was just talking to
Yes,
someone.
David. And you know,
What's that?
I,
Sorry, I missed something there?
yes, can you hear me loud and clear, David?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. And you know, one of the things that after the call, there has been some questions with regards to with the new package, with the newer branding, the new look,
Uh-huh.
the 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 luxury look of the Fairy Flawless. Were there any changes in the ingredients? That's one of the questions that was I always hear from some of our partners.
Okay. Well, I'm going to define the day moisturizer and the Quad AG night product, night serum. They're exactly the same. Exactly the same.
Yes.
So there's been no change in that. However, you know, in terms of the cleanser, yes, there has been some changes. It's vastly improved. We've added ingredients. You know, Sanaz alluded to the fact it has a cucumber extract in it. Now it also has aloe vera. These are all, you know, moisturizing products in there, as well as something that provides a foaming action that people want. You know, there's been an evolution in this, and it has been vastly improved. So yeah, it has been changed a little, but the cleanser has changed. It's been improved. The other two products, and the reason that I don't think they wanted to change it is because when we did our testing on it originally, that people, the test subjects overwhelmingly like these products, and so it's a question of people understanding and trying it. You know, try the product and they'll find how well it works because you know, those people that have really used Fairy Flawless have seen incredible results. And because it is an anti-aging product and it's a regimen, it works very effectively.
Yes, absolutely, David. And I just want to know that every time we make some changes when it comes to the product, it's always for the better. And one of the things I love about what our SVP said in one of the calls with regards to Fairy Flawless, and now it looks like it's not just even for women, right? It's even for men. Because we have this notion that, you know, beauty and anti-aging is only for women. But right now,
Nice.
David, why don't you
Yeah.
talk to us about how it also helps, particularly for men who would love to use the Fairy Flawless?
Yeah, Fairy Flawless has never been, you know, I guess, you know, there's that notion that, you know, people feel that these type of anti-aging regimens are just for women. But, you know, to be truthful about it, you know, men benefit from this as well. And there's been quite a few
Yes.
men who use the product line. And, you know, there's a lot of men that are involved with anti-aging regimens and they use it on a daily basis. Maybe they don't talk about it as much. They don't talk about skincare. I know guys don't do that. They don't talk about what they're using, whatever. But if you quietly talk to them, it's just like if you quietly talk to a man about prostate issues, they will talk to you about it. But it's something that men do. They're pretty discreet. They're pretty tight-lipped about a lot of things. But men are an ideal group that really need help. You know, a lot of men work in a harsher environment. Do they take care of their skin? The answer is no. Do they want to look younger? Yes. You know, as we grow older as a gender, men do care what they look like and how they present. It's just that they don't know how to do it at times. And so if you provide them with a regimen and how to do that, they will follow that. They're pretty good about doing that. And as they see improvements, as they see that they can benefit just as their partners, spouse, whatever, using Fairy Flawless, they'll benefit from that. They like that. So yes, it's good. But
Yes. And
but
I
please,
think,
you know,
sorry, go ahead, David. Sorry.
no, I just feel that, you know, as a male, you should never ever shy away from using a skincare product because it's important. And regardless of where you live in the world, whatever, it is important to protect your skin and use a good skincare product. I think it's Fairy Flawless offers a lot of pluses and will help you. And so I would consider that, men are quietly into skincare. They are quietly into looking after their skin, and they are looking for products that will help promote their youth. We're not going to get younger, but we can certainly look better now, and we can look younger. Okay.
Yes, absolutely, David. Thank you for that. And I think we already have Renee on the line. Hi, Renee. How are you? Are you there?
Yes, yes. Hello, Rico. Good evening, and good evening, David O. Thank you, of course, our HGM for leading tonight's call. Hello, good evening, David. Again, it's just amazing because I wanted to share really quickly that the one thing that is really remarkable, of course, when it comes to the hair is there's so many ways, I guess, right, David, to tackle the hair. I've seen people who have not only just put some of the Fountain of Life drops, like myself, actually, directly on the spot that I was kind of thinning out before.
Yep.
And then there's people who actually use the shampoo, body wash, and conditioner as well too. So I guess there's more than one way to tackle the same problem.
Well, there's many ways to do it because there's so many factors involved with we're talking about hair and hair loss. There's a lot of men that go through this, and women do too. So let's not, women go through hair loss too. One of the factors is the internal factor, which is, the 5-alpha reductase in men and women. That's an enzyme that converts testosterone to dihydrotestosterone. And yes, women have a lot less testosterone in their system than a man does. However, just a little bit of the DHT that's converted from testosterone by this 5-alpha reductase will lead to hair loss. And on top of that, what exacerbates it is the free radical activity on our head. Our head is a very dirty area covered with bacteria, free radicals, and that contributes to hair loss. So if you have products that are going to support, good scalp health, lowering bacterial activity, lowering free radical activity, there is a chance. And then at the same time, we stop the production of DHTs in our system. It will certainly give us a better chance of retaining our hair. And many men and women have attested to that.
Oh yes, actually, I think I may just share my own way of using the product that's just proved absolutely amazing. Is I actually use the men's body wash and shampoo in the mornings, and then actually at nighttime, because I actually shower twice a day because I wake up and my hair is all messy, so I use the men's one in the morning. And at nighttime, I actually use the woman's Posh Sensual. So I use Captive in the morning and then Sensual at night. And actually, after I finish showering, and I take, of course, my FOL internally to try to limit the DHT. I then actually also put a few drops on the areas where I want to have more hair growth, actually. And so I guess I'm doing 3 things. I'm taking FOL orally. I'm using, well, actually 4 things. I'm using the Captive in the morning, the Essential at night. Then I'm also using the FOL drops just to add a bit more, I guess, New Region Spruce extract directly on my on the areas on my head that I want to see a bit more hair growth. And it's absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal. So
the other thing is that if you have any fungal activity, this is a natural fungus like Malaysia furfur. It has been shown that FOL, the extract of FOL, does eliminate that. So if it, and fungal activity and bacterial activity leads to dandruff formation. So, in terms of overall scalp health, it does help.
Can I ask, because yesterday, David, I was actually just cooking dinner, and what happened was, actually, I was making breakfast, sorry, for my kids for their lunch. And what happened was, I actually, I had dropped a piece of vegetable off the back side of my wok. and it kind of fell in, and silly me, I kind of reached over the wok that's piping hot and trying to pull the vegetable up. And I actually ended up, you know where your wrist is on the inside with all the veins. That whole part actually touched the edge of the wok, right?
Yeah.
And it's like immediate. You can just feel how painful. You literally just throw your head in the air, like ow, right?
Yeah.
And so,
Sorry to
of
hear
course,
that. Yeah.
yeah. So immediately, I actually grabbed the FOL, and I just started rubbing it onto my skin. And usually in the past, when I get these burn wounds, I get a lot of the blistering and some bubbling, and then of course I might scratch it, and then some pus comes out, and then you get the dry cracking. And this time, it's amazing because I've applied it maybe about 4 or 5 times now since that's happened. And amazingly, all I see is a very, very light mark. And I can actually post the results
Yeah.
on my Facebook. But
Yeah.
can you talk a little bit about how it was so effective when it came to like burn wounds? And we've seen that before. And so why is it that it's helping burn
Well,
wounds heal fast and the scarring to be gone? Yeah, please.
there is an explanation for that because I did a sort of a deep dive into this a long time ago, trying to find out, get some answers to that. To be honest with you, it works well on uh, women, I guess men too, when I think about that, who gone through chemo and radiation, especially radiation therapy for breast cancer. I had a friend who his mother went through that, and she was in such pain she couldn't put on her top. She just couldn't do that, and so she was in constant pain, and she was constantly covered at home. And so I gave him a bottle of FOL, and told him how to use it, and she used it. And 3 days later, she went to the hospital and told the doctors how it miraculously helped her address the pain. Now, one thing that we were looking at, and I can't say this 100% sure, but one of the considerations, it seems to block some of the pain sensors in our body when we're using it topically that way. So that was one thing that some of the scientists, and I've asked them to look at that. I haven't heard back, but they were investigating it. The other thing to understand, though, is why we're not seeing a lot of damage. And it's because lignins on the skin in this form, they will cause collagen reformation. And it's really healthy for our skin. And that's what you're seeing right there really quickly. So instead of seeing damages, it's helping recollagenating the skin at the same time. I hope that's the right term. I apologize if I said that incorrectly. But again, it's good for collagen health and reformation in the skin. And so when you're using Fontanil, it does work that way. And if you use it on burns, sunburns, everything, you will see a difference. And it's one of those amazing things that I've seen personally is that it works very effectively on a burn.
Yeah, I actually recall one time, it's funny, I used to get migraines a long time ago. And yeah, I used to just basically always like massage my forehead where my eyebrows were. And I guess I massaged so hard one time, I didn't realize that I actually rubbed off a part of my eyebrow. And so I actually, but yeah, I just rubbed too hard on my, because I know when we have a migraine trying to get rid of the pain, and I was rubbing too hard. Since then, I've actually stopped getting migraines, which is amazing. I'm kind of curious if you know why that is. But also, when I put the FOL on the areas of my missing eyebrows, it grew back very fast too. Yeah.
Well, it will reduce some of the inflammation that's causing issues, right? In your system. But understand, and I don't understand how this all works. So I don't want to mislead people, but if you're taking it sublingually, they've discovered that the 7-HMR lignin is able to pass through the blood-brain barrier. They were shocked by that 2 years ago when they discovered that, and they feel that that is one of the factors that are helping people with anxieties, migraines, all these things. They think is because it's passing through. Now, how it's affecting it, they haven't told me. And I'm, smarter people than me certainly are looking into this. So I can't give you a clear answer, but I could tell you that's exactly what they discovered. And so they feel that there is some correlation between the two. If I ever find out from them, because they haven't told me, I will certainly pass that along. And I
Well,
apologize
thank
that I just
you.
haven't got an answer, but if you take it, I asked them if you take it orally, will that happen? They weren't 100% sure, but they said if you take it sublingually, it will. So I thought,
That
okay.
actually explains a
Hey,
lot because we've had some. Oh, sorry, Rico. Yeah, go right ahead.
this is May. I wanted to ask the participant to write the question in the Q&A, and we have two questions in the Q&A now. So everybody, we can't see the question in the chat. Please write it in the Q&A, okay? And we have
Oh,
two
thank you,
questions in
thank
the Q&A now, so you can answer them.
Okay.
How much is SLFE is our skin is product in a very flawless?
None. There's no SPF factor in there because we're not promoting Fairy Flawless as a sun protectant. That's a whole different category. We're talking about anti-aging. So it
And
never has and never had. We have never promoted it as an SPF. We'd have to put something like zinc oxide in it for that to work. Okay.
yeah, thank you. And the second one, how exactly do you recommend that the career pendants use FOL for pain?
I just suggest using it topically in a 5% solution. I try to keep it simple for them to use, but 5% is probably an a topical application is the optimal level to use. So I would say just make a solution of something gentle like water, distilled water. Give it a good shake. It doesn't mix, it disperses, and give it a shake. Do 5%, give it a good shake and spray on the area, and it should reduce the pain. It will help. But I mean, placing on some of the creams and lotions that the hospitals hand out, I took a look at them, and they're just moisturizing creams. And it was, and with all due respect to them, it is a moisturizing cream, but at the same time, it's not doing exactly what the patient really wants. Is that's to reduce some of the pain and discomfort associated with radiation therapy. So I just suggested making a 5% solution, give it a good shake and spray it on the area, and they said it helped them. That's within 3 days now. It didn't help them immediately. It's 3 days, but she was able to again dress herself and feel better and actually go to the hospital. And she told the doctors, and the doctors said they were very angry about it. To be honest with you, they were very angry because they said, well, our cream is better. And she said, no, it's not. Because she had been using it for a while. And she said it just didn't help in any way, shape, or form for her. And she used our product without issue. Now, and my position is not to go against a doctor. The doctors they're hardworking. They know what they're doing. It's just that when it comes to certain topical applications, I'm familiar with it because I worked in the area for over 20 years of my life, so I have an understanding. And I'm not here to challenge doctors because my gosh, they know so much more about medicine than I do. But at the same time, when something is not working, do you keep using it? And she didn't want to anymore. She had given up. And so that's why I offered her Fountain of Life. And again, she used it successfully. So, and there's no reason for her not to use it. It's not going to hurt her. I would never recommend anything that's going to go against a doctor that's going to actually cause potential damage to them. No, there's no way it would hurt them. It's very safe. And she did very well.
Amazing. Actually, David, we had a testimonial that came in several months ago, but it is just so powerful. And I mean to ask you, so their condition that they had was called CIDP, or chronic inflammatory, I hate this word, demyelinating polyneuropathy. So it's like a neurological disorder,
Yeah.
and yeah, I guess you heard of it then. And so they have completely just improved. I mean, before he needed help walking. He couldn't walk without people holding him. He was extremely overweight. And he's going to the hospitals, once every few months to get new drugs. And since taking the FOL, within about like 3 to 6 months, he's dancing at parties, walking on his own, weight is gone, and it's almost as if that whole thing had just disappeared. So
Right.
maybe you can explain to people what CIDP is, and why do you think
Well,
it's helped so much? Yeah.
Okay, I'm not an expert on the disease, but I'll tell you one thing that's happening, and lignans in the diet will lead to weight loss. I've been going through this very carefully as to, how do you know if if you're adding fountain of life into your diet that you're seeing changes? You're going to see mental clarity improve, things like that. But one thing that we don't talk about, because it's not a weight loss product, but lignans in the diet will reduce weight. At the same time, when you have a bunch of comorbidities and issues in your with your health, they're going to benefit from that. Obviously he's done extremely well, but when you have a neuropathy that's caused from demyelination of the sheath, this is not going to cause reformation of it. But what will happen is that, through weight loss and improved overall health, he's going to be able to do things that he was unable to do just because of a simple thing like weight. And then it's a progressive step forward all around. You start losing weight, you're become more active that way, because you can become more active. And some of the things you weren't able to do before, you are able to do. And as you know, that our health can be a downward spiral. You get injured. How many times have you heard that? I got injured. I couldn't go out and do the things I wanted to. I started gaining weight. I started getting pains. All of a sudden, my cardiovascular started going. Why? It's because not just the injury led you down that path. And so Fountain Life can sort of reverse that in a way. Reducing your weight can improve your overall outlook on life and your health, your mental clarity, everything that goes along with that. And just remember, it's not a cure, it's not a treatment. So when someone says, well, I have this condition, you can't say that it's a cure for this or it's a treatment. But what you can say is that people who have used it have benefited from, because they've lost weight, their overall outlook has been very good. They've become more active, and all of a sudden the spiral down is changed, and they've improved. That's the only explanation I have at this stage, until I see a study that says, okay, antioxidants from lignans will cause this to happen. I have not read that or seen that. It doesn't mean it hasn't happened. It's just that I can't make that statement, and I don't want to be inaccurate about it. Okay.
No, perfect. Thank you. I think one really common thing that I think most people know about, but maybe we don't talk enough about it, is just how, like, why do we need antioxidants on a daily basis, right? And I think the biggest culprit here is the free radicals. And I didn't realize early on that we're supposed to have a little bit of free radicals, and some of it can be good. However, the overall issue though is there's too much of it, I guess. Can you maybe just talk a little bit about that, so that the average, so that everyone understands just the basic function, I would say, of FOL towards things like free radicals and what free radicals are?
Well, we need free radicals. Free radicals are molecules missing electrons, and so when it's missing an electron, it becomes a free radical. What happens? It tries to steal that electron, because in nature it wants to be paired. And so when it goes to steal the electron, it could potentially damage a healthy cell. That's a simple explanation to that. However, if we take a look at free radical activity in the body, some of it is necessary for digestion, things like that. It is necessary. But when we take a look at them, why are we concerned about free radicals? It's because over time, free radicals can cause damage. We are designed, our bodies are very interesting. We make our own antioxidants, things like glutathione, superoxide, dismutase, or something that our bodies produce. But as you get older, say my age, our efficiencies start dropping off and we're not making it as efficiently. And that's why, as we are bombarded from free radicals, from pesticides, from radiation, UV radiation, from pollution, smoking, liquor use, all these things that lead to the potential to damaging our cells. Well, it can't happen because we're not making glutathione very efficiently or superoxide dismutase. Our body is not making that. And so what we have to do is supplement it. We need something that's going to reduce that, that's going to lead to reduce the free radical activity that leads to oxidative stress. And oxidative stress is the gateway to so many diseases, so many problems like cardiovascular disease, diabetes type 2, cancer. All these things are related to oxidative stress. So we need something that's going to neutralize that without itself becoming a free radical. And what I mean is that, you know, when we're using something like Fountain of Life, it's made from lignans, and lignans can loan a free radical that electron it needs. And it can do that very effectively without itself becoming a free radical. And that's one of the things that's important to understand, is that it's not a cascade where it's stealing from one electron to and creating another unhealthy cell. It just stops right there. And so it's very important to have the right antioxidant, and lignans are very important in our diet.
Hi, Renee. Hi, David. Thank you for that. And I
Hey.
think we also have some questions coming in here. Finally, I'm at the office, by the way. And first question is, can it be applied to shingles? Shingles. Hi, David. You're muted.
Sorry about that. I hit that by accident. It's a virus, you know, it's caused by a virus. And so the chickenpox virus that causes that. And you know, there's no indication that it's gonna help. You know, you know, my mom had shingles, and you know what I placed on her? I placed on a product that was very similar because I made it myself, but it was almost the same as our Sterling, and it helped her relieve some of the issues that she had, and it went away. But I'm not going to say not to use Fountain Lab. I would use that internally, to be honest with you, to try and reduce some of the activity that way. But I just can't tell you whether that's happening or not. But it wasn't. I have not seen anything. And the only way I could tell you definitively that anything is going to work is if I've seen a study. Okay, but I would try it. I wouldn't not try it. You know, I'd give it a try, but I'd use it internally as well. I would use Sterling on top of that because I did find that did help.
Actually, yeah, David and Rico, if people can go to the Fountain of Life official Facebook page, we actually do have quite some testimonials on shingles. And, you know, in Chinese they call it snake skin, but it's absolutely amazing, the before and afters. And so from what the person had said, they took it orally and also used it topically, and it really did help them remove, I guess, and get rid of their shingles. So I just want to share that as well too. Thank you, Rico.
Yeah, because that's a virus that, you know, it's not, you know, it's caused by a virus. So I want people to be aware of that. It's not from free radical activity, or it's not from bacteria. It is a virus. So just be aware of that.
Thank you. Thank you so much, David. Now, another question here coming from Denya. Is it good to let kids 12, 9, and 4 years old to use our shampoo, particularly the Sensual?
Yeah, I think so. You know, I see no reason why you can't use it. There's nothing in there that would be harmful, as long as they enjoy it, you know, and they use
Yes.
it. But our shampoos are safe. Keep it out of your eyes, mind you. But I mean, like anything else. But it is a good shampoo. So yeah, why not? You can use it at any age. Oh, Rico, are you there? You look frozen.
Yes, actually, someone's asking for us just to post the link. And yeah, if someone can help me in the group chat, post the link to the testimonial page, that'd be great. I can try doing it in a second. I did actually one thing that I was really curious about as well too was numerous amounts of women have reported, of course, that aside from hair improving, but also during menopause, the hot flashes, the mood swings, and the hair loss, that all of that improves so much. And so, so that is one question. And now, by the way, we just have Imelda from the Philippines say that someone that has HIV actually buys FOL, and that customer says that it helps him a lot in some shape or form. So not sure if you want to make a comment on that, being a sort of like a virus, I guess. But
Yeah,
and then
I
of course,
can't.
what's my question?
Okay, HIV is a whole different area. I just can't comment on that because I just don't know, to be honest with you. There's no studies on it. Anecdotally, I've heard that, but again, at the same time, I don't want to make false statements. So I'm sorry, I just can't comment because I have no idea if there's been a definitive study on HIV and the use of lignans. Of course, the one thing to understand is that there's going to be, our bodies are going to go through an amazing amount of oxidative stress with something like, HIV in our system. So would I encourage them to use Fountain of Life? Absolutely, because you want to reduce that oxidative stress at all times, because oxidative stress is not good for your body. So that's all I would say at that point. And hopefully that symptomatically it will help them improve. Okay, so that's how I would really state that. And I think that's a safe way to do that. And that's how I would tackle something like that with when people ask about can I use Fountain of Life? The answer is, of course, if it's okay with your doctors, that's not contraindicated with the medications that you're on. If they said, again, if the doctor doesn't know what Fountain of Life is, just tell them it converts in the body just like flaxseed. Is that okay to take? And doctors will understand that, and that'll give you a definitive answer. But if you're not sure, just remember that oxidative stress is the real enemy here, and that if it helps lower that, it might help improve some of the outcomes.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Rico, not sure if you had any other questions. I did want to ask one more question. Oh, actually, here it was.
Okay.
Anytime, David, that I have an upset stomach, whether it be maybe I ate something that I left in the fridge for too long and I tried to microwave it, maybe it wasn't fresh, or maybe I ate some kind of a seafood or too oily or bad food, or maybe I drank too much the night before or something. But I found out whenever I have any kind of an upset stomach, or my stomach doesn't feel well,
Yeah.
or even if I feel nausea, and I just drink FOL, like immediately that goes away. So is it doing something with the bacteria that maybe making me feel upset in my stomach?
Well,
Yeah, please.
yeah, lignans are good for digestion, and that's another factor. I put together a list that I sent to head office, so hopefully people see it to better understand when they say, "Is Fountain of Life affecting me?" One thing that it does help is with digestion. So I think you're seeing the impact of how quickly it works on our digestive system. So I hope that that is what you're probably seeing. At the same time, I don't think it's that I don't think it's bacterial at that time. I think that lignans help balance our digestive system, and that's one of the factors that you see in terms of the positive outlook of the use of lignans in our diets. And
Since I'm
that's
here, David, another question for you is, I've always been curious, with your feces, just to say it in a very most polite way possible,
yeah,
they come in all shapes and sizes, if you want to call it that,
yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm kind of curious, is there a certain type that is more ideal? Because, 'cause I guess some people who I have a customer who's taking FOL, and he could have sworn that, you know, before he was always bloated, always felt upset, not good with his stomach, and after taking the product, he felt like his sizes of his you know, number twos, you know, were just, it looked different to him, but he felt great about it. Is there any correlation with that and FOL and healthy stool, if you want to call it that?
Yeah, well, you know, having a healthy stool is really important. I think that you got to look at all the factors there. You know, did their diet change? You know, people attribute it always to one product, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. And I think it's a mistake because they forget about what they've eaten that day, how often they've eaten, all these things. And, you know, there is that notion of a healthy stool, what that is. It could vary from person to person because I don't know what they're eating, you know, and what their diets are. But Fountain of Life will help with digestion, definitely. And so it will probably impact our ability to digest food properly and absorb food properly. So you might see a factor in that, but I'm sorry, I can't tell you what their healthy stool looks like, you know. But yeah, it is you know, and not to joke about it, you know, it's sort of one of those odd subjects, but it is important, you know.
Yeah, I
and
guess,
it's
you
one
know,
of the factors.
is full lengthy, you know, I don't know, thick better, or smaller chunks? I don't know how to say this, but
I
is there
don't,
any?
well, if you take a look and understand our physiology, when you have something that is well formed in terms of a stool, we have better water absorption because we are absorbing water in the large intestine. That is the function of our large colon. And so it is absorbing water. When it comes out loose, you know, through, you know, dysentery, diarrhea, whatever you want to call it, what it's doing, it's hypermotility is causing us to lose that. We're not absorbing water. We could be dehydrated at that stage. So, yeah, you want something that's formed. You want something that's balanced because you want to make sure that our water levels are in good shape. So, what is the health? I don't know. I'm not a expert on fecal material in the body for sure. It's far out of my area of what I've studied. However, it is important, and
Wonderful.
we should never doubt that. But taking lignans, like a good lignan source, is one way to ensure that we have, you know, the ability to actually, you know, have a balanced diet and something that's going to help us mentally and physically. And like you said, we're going to, I've got that list that's going to be coming out, hopefully, that'll help people better define the attributes that you're seeing when you're using something like Fountain of Life and how you're benefiting from it. Because no one really knows, I don't think. You know, and it's a good question people will ask you is that, you know, how do I know this is working for me? Like, what is it doing? And so there are certain things that we can talk about that will help people understand the benefits of the product. And I think it's important. And I wrote it out just recently because that subject has come up way too often. And I haven't defined it, with all apologies.
No,
So,
thank you, thank
Renee,
you.
yeah, sorry, Renee, but I just also want to share with you that experiencing the same thing. I have had some bad food being eaten, and Fountain of Life really helped me a lot. Just a couple of hours, and it was all fine. And one of the things that really helped me with regards to the Fountain of Life is with regards to my bowel movement. Yeah, on the average, every day at least I do two to three times a day, and that for me is very, very good. I feel lighter. I feel more clean. So something like that. It makes sense, David, when you said that
Oh,
it really helps with digestion,
yeah.
and that's the reason why you become more energetic. That's the reason why you feel lighter, right?
Yeah, no, really, it is important. It is an important subject to really look at. You know, yeah, it's you know, I know it's a funny topic and one that can be sensitive, and it's hard to say, "Well, how's your bowel movement today?" But at the same time, you know, internally, we have to ask ourselves, are we going regularly? Is it a regular thing? You want to clean out your system. You do not. You know, when I was working in oncology, one of the areas of the body that seems to get cancerous is at the sigmoid colon. And that's from the descending, there's a little S part there. And I was asking the doctors about the doctors I was working with, why is that area? And I had an idea, but they said because fecal matter collects there. And that causes irritation, which leads to cancer growth. And they said, so, when you think about it, if we cleanse that area on a regular basis, it will reduce our chance. I can't say it's not going to cause cancer, but at the same time, we want to do everything that's positive. You get a doctor to better explain it than I am explaining, but they certainly gave me a life lesson about the way our bodies are. And one doctor just said, he believed that cancer is caused from the dirt in our system, and he was general surgeon, and it made sense what he's saying in very simplistic terms. So, yes, having a good bowel movement daily is very important. And if you don't, then you should take a look at your diet. Okay.
David, we have some question in the QA. So
Yes, go ahead, Mail. If you could read them so that we can answer the questions.
do FOL helps game health and recovery, and how to take it?
Well, it does help. That's in some of the topics that we've had where you can place FOL right on the gums, if you have bleeding gums, everything will help overall gum health. Just take a drop, put a couple drops on your finger and just rub it against the gums. It does help. It will help reduce some of the free radical activity, mop up free radicals in your mouth, and it will reduce some of the issues that you may be faced with. But I think our toothpaste does a very good job in reducing a lot of the bacteria as well. So I use it if I ever had a toothache, I'll put our toothpaste on there first and foremost, and it seems to work. And I've had a few toothaches because I've broken teeth in karate over the years, and I've needed it, before I've seen the dentist. So it does work.
Okay.
Absolutely, David. And if I may add to that, that is a very powerful combination, the toothpaste and the FOL. What I do is I put the FOL underneath my tongue and let it be absorbed for a couple of seconds. And then after a while, I roll my tongue all over my mouth. Just to keep the FOL with antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, and that really helps me with my bleeding gums. I used to have bleeding gums every time I brush my teeth, and now with the toothpaste as well, with the microsilver, no more bleeding of gums, no more mouth sores for me. So I just want to share that because it's really, really helpful for me.
Thank you. Is the FOL good for 12 years old born with G6PD?
Okay, I've answered this question. I don't know if this is the same person, but I've answered this question before.
It's another person.
This is a genetic disorder. It's called glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase deficiency. But this is a genetic disorder. And unfortunately, we can't change a genetic disorder using a product like this. I don't believe that it's going to help. Again, we could talk about oxidative stress on a 12-year-old, but really, I just don't think that we're going to be able to offer them the hope that that they want using our product. This is not what Fountain Life is designed for. I'm really sorry, but no, I don't think so at this stage.
Another question: when we are going to talk about Deviance 8?
It's Divine 8.
Divanius, 8. Yeah.
Well, actually, the good thing about it is, we just for those of you who do not know yet, but we just talked about this last Saturday, and hopefully we can have them sometime this 2024. But we're really excited about it. It's a very good and powerful combination together with the FOL plus the Divine 8. So anyway, David, if you have something to share about it, please feel free to do so.
I can't talk about I can't talk about that. If they've talked about it, wonderfully, but I can't talk about it because I don't have enough information on it. And so, when can you talk about it? When it's released, I think, and I think they'll have more information to share with you because they want to do this we want to do the launch properly. We want the right information, and they will give everyone the right information. And you want to be able to sell it. Like, you don't want to talk about a product and then find out that, oh, you know, you don't have it right away. When someone says, oh, well, I'd like to get it, I'd like to buy some right now. You know, it will happen. It's just a matter of, I don't know what the timing is. Okay, so they'll give you the information for sure, and you will be able to have the talking points that you need to be effective.
Another
Yes, and it was
question.
discussed during the Saturday call, as Marie has put it here. Come towards the new year. Wow. Anyway, go ahead, Mail. Thank you.
Yeah,
Eh,
let's go.
It's about the toothpaste. If we have swollen jam and blood, and if it's safe to use the FOL.
Can you say that again to me?
So it's about the toothpaste.
Yeah.
If it's safe, if it's safe to use it when there is blood in the gum and things like that.
No, yeah, it's gonna be safe, sure. You know, the microsilver is 10 microns in size. And so even if we ingest it or it will not cause any issues whatsoever. It's completely safe. And if you take a look at the microsilver technology, it is used in implant technology as well now. And so they coat implants with, you know, we're talking about implants, we're talking dental implants, we're talking orthopedic implants like hip replacement, knees, all that with microsilver. And so it's placed right inside the body. So because it doesn't cause any issues. It's not going to cause argyria. It's not going to cause any damages to our kidneys, whatever. Microsilver is completely inert to our bodies that way. So it's very safe.
Someone is asking about her client that she had the allergy when she took the FOL. So
Okay.
what is the benefit of that, and and how we can work with that?
Well, if they had an allergic reaction, they just can't take the product, you know? As simple as that. Like, if you have an allergy to anything, you should not be using it. And if you had a rash, swelling, anything, hives, as a result, your body is just reacting to it. So the answer is no. Unfortunately, they can't use the product. And people can be allergic to almost anything. Me myself, I'm allergic to penicillin. So I cannot take penicillin. And I developed that as an adult. This happens, but we are sometimes very sensitive to certain things, and we just can't use the product, unfortunately. It's really unfortunate, but it does happen.
Okay, is there any other questions, Mail? Or is that it? All of the questions are answered already?
Okay.
Okay. Now, lastly, David, even before we wrap up this call, you know, we talk about allergy, but is it also because probably they're taking too much of that product, or they can lower the dose, or I don't know.
No.
What are your thoughts on this?
No, if you're allergic, you're allergic.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. It's not potentiated. You know, it doesn't really matter if you have a little or a lot. If you're allergic to a product, you're simply allergic to it, and you should not be using it.
All right, all right.
Okay.
So anyway, thank you so much, David. Thank you so much, Rene, for hopping on the call.